Hello guys, welcome back. So we are back with an absolute banger of a race. This is the daily race C from last week at Le Mans with the variable weather, and if you didn't have a chance at having a go at it, you missed out on some interesting racing. It's a shame about certain things with the bumper drafting and DR and whatnot, but this race literally has everything. So let's get straight into it. As you can see already, we are raining, so we need to keep an eye on that water meter down in the left. We are on the softs, and I already know that Bob is on the wets, and there is one more person on the wets as well. He's a bit further back. Ice Storm is on the intermediates. Everybody else is on the softs. But as you see, as we start the race, it's just above that first line there. Now we have a problem. We will have no grip. We've got traction control on straight away. That was one of the first things I did. So coming up to T1, taking it as easy as Bob just flies up the inside. Carnage behind. People can't get it stopped. That's what traction control. We survived. Bob's gone on them wets. See you later. It's so tricky. It's being so patient. As the rain is just getting heavier, as you can see, as people are struggling everywhere. As we come onto the straight for the first time. Now we have a decent, well, not a decent gap, but a gap to P3. Bob is gone, obviously he's on the wets. The rain is just getting heavier as that. If we look at the bottom left, that rain meter is almost up to the second line there. Great shot. Shout out to Steve for making delivery once again. Always makes banger deliveries for me. And for everybody else, to be fair. So we are coming down the straight. That rain has not let off. Bob is enjoying his time on his wets. Now we're coming up to the slight kink on the left, and I know that with these softs you have to at least lift. You have to. As you'll see here, if you pay attention to my throttle, it puts a little lift back on. But not everybody got the memo. And that is how you go from P2 to last. Now, I did lots of races on this combination this week, and that would have normally caused a rage quit. I was so close to a reset that I thought I've got to stay in this. That wasn't my fault, did get no penalty. So, we crack on, hoping that it dries up. As we go through somebody there, as we can see, just more carnage up ahead as we go through someone. Do we get past Edith? Get past Edith. Now, as you can see, maybe on the track, there is a dry line already forming. So we just got to hunt that. We've still got traction control on. Down in 8th, Ice Storm has made his way up there. Like Bob is up there, obviously, as Ice Storm is on the intermediates and Bob is on the wets. This section here in the rain is very tricky. We got yellow flags. Oh, as shouldn't laugh, as somebody else gets murdered behind. Now we have to pay attention to the Luke. That's all I will say. So at the minute we're coming in, it's still, you know, remember that we are still only coming towards the end of lap 1. We've gone from 2nd to 16th and all the way back up to 7th. As we come through the Porsche curves, just taking it nice and easy, make sure we find all that line. don't hit any of the actual curbs because, as we know, in GT7 they hold water for longer. But that dry line is certainly starting to form. Edith has a bit of a moment. Oh, we made an overtake there as somebody was off in the Veyron. So we're coming to the end of the lap. We survived. We are P6. We are P6. That is survival. Let's go up and see. Ice Storm and Bob are in a battle. We have Benny. There's also on the intermediates. I didn't realise that. So back to the battle. Now, as you can see, the line, the water meter rather, sorry, is getting just about touching that first line, so we know now we can start pushing hard. As long as we keep it on that dry line, so we'll across your traction control still on, and if I remember rightly, I flick traction control off now. So now we are, as far as I'm concerned, able to push as hard as we can, as if the track had no rain on it. As you can see, it's not completely dry, but whenever we touch a curb, they are soaking. As Luke ahead of us has got a penalty. But the advantage Bob and Ice Storm have over the field, but obviously it's a long race. Will that strategy pay off in the long run? We will have to see. We will have to see, as I am closing in on Cooper and Luke working together down the Mulsanne, and they both have penalties. Now in my eyes, a lot of people would bump. I want to get in front of them before the penalty line, so I don't get held up. That's just my personal view, but obviously everybody races slightly different. Pretty sure I back out because of the wet line that you can see on the sides. Plus you don't really have the overspeed. More carnage in the background. So there's 4 of us in this little battle. 4th down to 6th, 7th. We know Luke and Cooper both have penalties. And the track is still a bit wet off the racing line. But Bob and Ice Storm will start feeling the effects with that dry line. They're going to have to hunt for the wet line. So I think there was a little, as Cooper goes round, so now it is the Luke, myself and Edith. Past, we're still on the dry line, bit of water there, let's get back on that dry line, very nice. So now the hunt is on to catch the wet runners. Ooh, as Edith looks up the inside of Luke. As Betty out of nowhere, oh, it was good ghosted. Edith catches the ball, Luke gets past. So if I would have known at the time, that would have been a sign that the wet tyres, whether they're the wets or the intermediates, are starting to struggle already. So coming up to complete lap 2 then. Back up to 3rd. Now let's not forget, the start of this race, we were at the back of the pack, we got murdered. Absolutely murdered. Bob's done a 4:11. We've done a 4:06 then, so we are We are on some mad pace compared to the front two, that's for sure. Come around then. Some great camera views on this game. Now Bob and Ice have two choices really. They pit and know that they're going to come out way behind, because unfortunately the pit stops on this game still haven't been sorted out where you could remotely even try to do an undercut, or they push these tyres to the end and just essentially become a nuisance. Not dirty, but a nuisance. As we see them fighting, actually, we'll go check that out. Bob has a penalty, who is fighting, who's on them wets. They're hunting for that wet line though, both of them. I'm on the wet line too. 1.7 up then. Bit of a gap to Luke. And Edith has a bit of a bigger gap. As we come down this fantastic straight, as Ice is bumping Bob up ahead. Obviously I want to be in the middle of the road, not on that wet line. So we've seen what happened on lap 1 at the kink. Gotta be so careful on corner exit with them curbs. Exactly 2 seconds up. Purple, that's crazy. As the front two definitely aren't working together then. So essentially, me and Luke are in a race for P1 and P2. That's not bad considering the start of this race, is it? That is not bad at all. Just got to get our heads down. Not get caught up in anything, not make any silly mistakes. It's just we all know I'm very prone to doing. Could do with clearing Bob as quick as possible. He's about to serve his penalty. Didn't make much movement off the racing line, but that's fine. As Luke gets by as well. As we're really closing up on Ice then coming into the Porsche curves. Now I knew Ice was struggling on some form of tire. I thought he was on the wets, didn't realise he was on the intermediates. So I just wanted to sit behind, wait for him to pit. I assumed he was going to pit. I assumed they both was going to pit. But as you're about to see, neither of them decide to pit, which caught me off guard a little bit. It's not I would have personally pitted and took the hit and come back with fresh tyres. So the race is now on between me and Luke. The lap times are coming down as I had it for all of a second, and then Luke takes the fastest lap of a 4:03.2 as we enter the fourth lap already. Like I said, guys, if you did give this daily a race a go, you really did miss out on a cracker, because some of the racing it felt racing. You never knew what was going to happen. You never ever knew. Every lobby was different. I just wish I don't have rage quitted as many times as I did and just did what I've done in this video, as we've won very right there. That could be a penalty. Starting to feel the pressure a little bit from Luke. Knowing that we just got to run away. That's all that me and Luke have to do now, is run away, and I have to be the lead car come the end of the lap running through the Porsche curves. If I'm not the lead car going into the Porsche curves by lap 5, this is probably Luke's race. What a shot that is. As we're purple again. Getting the bump from Luke, so Luke's down to just push. Which is fine. As we don't mind being pushed along. Leave the door open down the inside if Luke wants it. Doesn't want it. And it's one of the first times I've really driven the Veyron on this game. It's a pretty nice car. It's a boat, don't get me wrong. Maybe that's why it's so good in the rain. But considering what it was like on GTS, they've improved it. As Luke is looking around the outside. Can Luke get this move done? Luke does get this move done. As I fall in behind. Is that a lap too early? Got to keep the pressure on. At this point here, next lap, we need to be leading. It is a 2-horse race. Veyron versus Viper. So we're coming into the Porsche curves then. Can I gain any time through here? This is where the Veyron should be slightly stronger. We are gaining slightly, it looks, not by much. As we've won right there. Coming to start lap 5. Spanish cane, a bit of a send is needed to make sure. Oh, as you can see, the back end came out of me there. Bit of a jump at the end to make sure we stay in Luke's slipstream. Otherwise, Luke has this race. As Luke has done 58 in the Viper. Luke makes a bit of a mistake, we nail it over the camera, send you the bill in the post for this destroyed camera. So now we are firmly in the slipstream. We're where we want to be, really. Don't necessarily need to be the lead car coming down here. We're 2 tenths purple, so we are flying as we get a better run on Luke. So we are the lead car coming down the Mulsanne. Try to break the slip a little bit. So I started using my head a little bit here. And I knew Luke would probably bump me most of the way down this straight. And at one point you will see me try to avoid the bump. Just to let Luke try to go for the overrun, knowing that the Viper can't really do it without assistance, so just to make it not so easy for Luke, as you can see. So now we're just side by side, so my thought process worked a little bit. It was just, I'm pretty sure Luke manages to drop back in, he does, see. It was a bit early as I tried to break the slip then again. Of course, coming down a long straight, it's all about the mind games. This time we defend the inside, so we don't want Luke on the out. We show him the outside this time. Let our intentions known early. side by side. They're coming into the heavy braking zone. Plenty of respect and space given. We come out of that, the lead car, but this is where the Viper was strong last lap. He's gone to the outside again. He pulled this move off. He's already in P1. I can't give this up this easy this time. Side by side then, as we're back into P1. Still side by side, no contact. Still, that's a great shot. So we're locking down the outside of Luke. Show our nose, nothing really happening. So Luke is going to lead the charge into the Porsche curves. Can we get side by side before the Porsche curves? Give Luke something to think about. Now let's not forget, guys, the start of this race, we were facing the wrong way, all the way down in last position. We are now fighting for the lead. We have been with Luke. It's been a hell of a battle. So we are flying through the Porsche curves then. As we both use as much of the exit as possible. It's going to take a hell of a lunge through the chicane. We're looking on the outside. Can we get it done? Oh, not quite. What a race, guys. Honestly, where did Ice Storm stayed on the intermediates? I managed to pull off a P5, so it just goes to show. But honestly, guys, if you did not do that race, you missed out on a right treat. But I hope you enjoyed that video. It was one of my favorites of the week, that's for sure. And if you do, please leave a like and a comment, hit the subscribe button, and there will be more videos to come. Thank you, take care.